Recording live from the Headhunter Stronghold in Annapolis, Maryland, and beyond. This is Recruiting Roundtable Season 3. Every episode is open discussion with recruiters, headhunters, and talent pros, so feel free to participate or just sit back and listen as we bring you topics, discussions, tips, tricks, and more from both industry dinosaurs and noobs alike. Please like and subscribe. And now let's start with the Recruiter Roundtable Season 3, Episode 6, AI is affecting, how AI is affecting sourcing. Hey, welcome, everybody. Great, everybody, see everybody. So, I tried last night. I don't know if anybody knows. Let's talk real quick what kind of brought this up. So Kelly and I were talking about this yesterday, and Domenic and I had talked about it a couple times, and I think also the Saunders isn't here. I talked about it. Both Claude came out with it first, and then ChatGPT Pro, the one you pay $200 a month for, they have it now too. And basically, AI can control, or large language model can control your computer. Ben Mena, who has the Recruiter podcast, he pays $200 a month for ChatGPT. He tested it and had put some results on one of the Facebook groups. And what he's able to do is get it to search his Lohse database for everybody who had TSI/SC, which is a top secret clearance, right? And pull them all into a spreadsheet for him. I don't know if he did the LinkedIn thing, but there was some talk that you can get it to search like LinkedIn Sales Navigator or LinkedIn Recruiter or OG LinkedIn. And what you would do is they have their own browser. So when you have access to this, you get into their browser, right? And then you open up LinkedIn or you open up your Lohse or whatever and log in. And then you say, search LinkedIn in a 2140 area code or zip code, a 5-mile radius, for every person who's got a mechanical engineering degree and the word HVAC somewhere in their profile. Please exclude anyone that does not have a 4-year degree. Then take those profiles, put them into an Excel spreadsheet with name, location, title, current company, and any contact information that was available on their LinkedIn profile. And then you go play with your kids and you come back a couple hours later and that's all done for you, that's how that's going to affect sourcing. So last night, I went on to, no, it wasn't. It was something that we've been kind of looking at. So I went, one second, Kelly. I went on to Typing Mind's Discord and then talked to some people on there. And ByteDance, who owns TikTok, actually came out with a free version. But you have to go to GitHub and download some stuff. So I spent about 2 hours on it last night and couldn't get past finding an API from the model you need to use to run it. So I kind of got stuck there. I got everything set up, I thought, but then when I finally tried to run it, I couldn't get it to run. So that ended up being, I was going to hopefully be able to demo some of it because they say that it's better and it's free and it's better than OpenAI's version and Claude's version. Go ahead, Kelly.
So you said you don't have to have a paid version of LinkedIn to use that, or do you?
No. Now, that being said, if this computer, right, and you're logged into, let's say you're on your OG LinkedIn account and you ask it to do it, and all of a sudden you're looking at over and over again all these different profiles, checking them out, whatever, that could flag you. So I'm just I don't have enough information to be able to tell you how that would work, but like Trisha Tamkin at More Essential says, you don't even need to be logged in to do the Boolean search and pull up all the LinkedIn profiles and look at them, right? So why wouldn't that work with it? Does that make sense?
Yep.
So then
so one
now
thing
that they
happens,
have it.
one thing that happens when you're logged into LinkedIn Recruiter versus or LinkedIn versus not LinkedIn, like when you're not signed in versus signed in. And I'm talking about regular LinkedIn here, not LinkedIn Recruiter or not LinkedIn Lite.
Like
if
OG
you sign
LinkedIn.
in and you open too many profiles in succession in a very rapid sequence, you will end up in LinkedIn jail. It used to happen to me all the time. So you have to, if you're going to open multiple profiles, if you're not logged in, and let's say you're doing a search through, I don't know, Google or a browser or something, you can technically find all the links to the profiles you want and then have it pull it into like a sheet and then have it open it up with a time delay and specify, open it every like 30 seconds. That way you're not.
That comes back to the human speed, right? Like when they talk about the Chrome extensions, they have to work at human speed. Otherwise, that's how they get flagged. So yeah, that would make sense if this AI was just like open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close.
Well, you
That's
should
why,
be able
like
to,
I said, I don't know exactly how it works.
what I'm saying is you should be able to instruct the AI or add a timer into the source code. It looked like you were doing some source code before, Tom. I missed a brief part of it because I had to hop on a call. But if it's source code, you can specify to have a time delay in there, like 30 seconds or whatever.
So the source code that you saw when you came in late, and for people who didn't see this, we were talking about all the stuff you can do with AI. And I had shared my screen with TypeMine, which is a UI I use, and Domenic and a couple other people, Anthony, on this use it as well, Kelly too, that you can use ChatGPT, you can use Claude, you can use DeepSeek, you can use all of them, and you're paying for usage. You're not paying $20 a month for each model. So as you can see, I have access to ChatGPT, I have access to Gemini, I have access to Claude, I have access to DeepSeek, I have access to, I think, Gronk as well, or maybe I deleted it, but there's
Is
DeepSeek.
TypeMine similar to you.com?
I don't know what you is.
You.com?
I don't think so. This is a UI. This is not like any of the other ones that tell you pay $20 a month and you have access to all the large language models unlimited, which is a lie, right? You get throttled. You don't. This is strictly usage. So I'll explain what we were doing. So I have a prompt that says, give me a VBA code that creates an 8-slide PowerPoint presentation on any topic. You can run this code in the Visual Basics for Applications, VB Editor, and PowerPoint. So what you do is you just put in the prompt, right, and then drop in whatever the topic is you want to use, right? So what we did, and I'll do a new chat. So I come over here to my prompts. I click on the PowerPoint one. And then right here, you would have to put in whatever you wanted. So we used, Nevers of Recruiting, but you could do, 10 reasons to hire a recruiter, and in hopes that I'm gonna hope that it does it, right? And hit send. And then what it does now is it's going to create this 8-slide PowerPoint presentation. Here is the code. So once this code is done, it's doing it for me. Reason to hire a recruiter. It's got 8 different ones. It's showing you what the slide content is, right? And then you hit copy code. You come over to PowerPoint. You do new presentation. And then in this, when you go to, is it macros that we did before? Somebody help me out. Yeah, macro, Visual Basic Editor. The editor pops up. You click this right here. It opens up this, you hit this, and you hit play, and the presentation is done. And we'll go back and show you right here. Where did they do it? Let's see, find it. Here it is, right here. So 10 reasons to hire a recruiter. Reason 1, access to top talent. Reason saves time. Industry expertise. And then if you want to bring in a picture, right? So picture from file, it'll open up this. I can grab that picture of me and then send it backwards. So as you can see, the text is black, so it's not showing up. But if I drop it to here, wide network shows up. That's it. You're done. Your PowerPoint presentation is completely done. And all you did was type in a little thing, make a PowerPoint presentation about why recruiters are better or whatever. And that is a simple prompt. If everybody wants to see it, it's right here. This is the prompt. Give me a VBA code that creates an 8-slide PowerPoint presentation on, insert topic here. You can run this code in the Visual Basic for Applications Editor and PowerPoint. And I put in 10 reasons to hire a recruiter. And it did it right. So that's kind of to show you how powerful these things are getting, and to kind of and I think was there a question in the chat? No. So to how AI is affecting sourcing, right? So that's what this was about. And we were talking about how using the ChatGPT $200 model to control, or ByteDance, if I can get that hooked up. When you ask a VA, let's say you have a VA that's just sourced for you, and you say, hey, could you go on LinkedIn and find me these profiles? You give her the parameters, or give him or her the parameters. 5 years experience, civil engineering degree, land development background, in a 5 mile radius of 21401, right? That's it. And then they go and do that for you, and they provide you, after the, cost you $100 or whatever, they provide you a spreadsheet with all that stuff on there. Well, now there are large language models that will be able to do that for you, and it will be quote unquote free.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a major issue for the sourcers out there. If you're watching this and you're a sourcer, that's going to be an issue. You're going to have to step up to the game and provide more value than whatever ChatGPT or Claude or whatever can do. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Don, this is a question probably that several people can answer. I know I can't, but you seem to be working with very large companies, right?
Yeah.
Me or Dom?
Dom.
Oh, Dom.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess my question, just from our standpoint, now I work with small to medium-sized companies. I'm wondering, where do you see this is all going with regard to your large clients who have a lot of money to spend on what we're spending money on? Are you feeling like you're going to need to drop down a level or two, or are you going to be able to fight the good fight anyway, and it's just basically the same as it is now, but just at a different level?
Here's a great example. Today, just signed Target, right? Their supply chain division. They have they have an internal everything, right? Fortune 50 company.
Sure.
Guess what? They came to me, and they still need us for all the stuff that we're still talking about. So I don't see any. I keep warning people, you need to upskill and learn how to use all these tools and optimize your day, because yes, a lot of recruiters, if you're just making calls doing this, you're going to be replaced. But they still need us for our network, our connections, the human touch. But yeah, there's a lot of recruiters that are going to be replaced, believe me, especially with some of the AI I see coming out. But one specifically that I can't say anything yet, but I signed an NDA, but it is scary. And
Scary in what way?
For the recruit, not the ones like us, right, that are having the high touch points, have the network, the connections, know how to use a lot of this tech. But let's say you're trying to get into recruiting, or you're just starting and you don't know any of this stuff, you don't have any network or connections. Yeah, you're probably going to be screwed. Yeah,
The
100%.
transactional recruiters, recruiters that don't value the relationship, that send resumes and just do the, if I just send enough resumes, somebody will hire my guy. Those people are going to be replaced by AI, right? The soft skills for a long time, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dom, I think the soft skills are always going to be in demand, at least while we're still alive.
Yeah,
because
I mean, I believe
replaced.
that. I believe that, but I also don't want to underestimate the power of AI, right? Like, look at how fast it's came along already.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm always looking at, hey, what can I do with tools like Replit that I can have another source of income just in case? I got 3 kids, but never know, right? But it's just always keeping my good relationships with clients, taking care of the big companies, the companies that we work with, the candidates, and I don't see any issues within the next few years. But I mean, look at where AI has already came from a year ago, 3 months ago, even a month ago. It's and the one that I can't wait till I can share it with you guys, but it is scary. Let's put it that way.
Is it third-party recruiter or an internal?
This could be used for internal or third party.
What is it capable of doing?
Everything.
Which one?
Whatever he can't share the specifics.
He's got an NDA.
I'm not asking about
that. Everything.
What is its capability?
Anything that we can all do faster.
Yeah, so the one that Ben Mena has access to, and if you pay $200 a month, you can get access to it too. Literally can basically on your computer, if you can do it, without any soft skills involved, it can do it, right? So it can search your internal database. Ben Mena had it searched his internal applicant tracking system for every profile that had top secret TSI/SC, right? That's top secret security clearance or whatever if you work that, you'll know what I'm talking about. He had
Yeah.
it search his entire database for that while he went and played with his kids. Like
Gotcha.
that's
So-
what it can
so
do.
So it has like the automation capability where basically if you are running a search or multiple searches, you can focus your time on the business development, set up the queues or whatever through the AI to do it on your workstation, come back, take the results, and then have it do something else from there. Or if you build it, I guess if you take the time to build out the entire process, you can have it do all that work for you, and then you just have to do the human part.
Correct.
Tom,
Very
But-
efficient.
Oh,
And
oops, sorry, D. How much setup was
So-
involved to get it to do that?
I'm sorry.
How much setup was involved to get it to
So-
do it in that way?
Apparently, that the only setup is logging onto their browser, right? So not
Uh-huh.
Chrome or whatever the ChatGPT browser is, and then going to whatever web page you want it to search, whether it's LinkedIn, your applicant tracking system, a directory, whatever it is. Once you're there, then you type out the prompt. That is, and I'm trying to find a video that I can share with you guys. Claude did it first, right? So Claude did it 3 months ago, and I saw 5 use cases, and 2 that I remember was the guy asked it to send 5 tweets on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck that place is called, to send 5 tweets, and it did that. He said what they wanted them to be, and then he did that. Like every 5, he had like do it over a period of every 5 minutes. So it sent out 5 tweets over a period of 5 minutes. He didn't do anything. He just put that prompt and it did it. Another woman who works for Claude, she demoed it by saying, my family's coming in for vacation. Can you find me this stuff for us to do? And she gave it parameters of what she wanted to do while her family came in. So it was, go to the museums, go to the beaches. We want to go out to dinner. We like this kind of food. And it created an entire itinerary with the links to all the places to go, the cost, everything, right? Something that you might do if my mom's dead, but my mom was coming into town. It's like, hey, Thommy, I want to really experience Annapolis. I want to go to the best tourist spots. I want to go out to the best crab cakes. I want to see a show, right? I would do that. I'd sit down and I'd make an itinerary and I'd send it to her, and this is what we're going to do. Now, Claude will do that for you. All of it, everything, which is, to me, that's where how it affects sourcing is that, and I'll go back to, if you could tell it to do exactly what you tell your VA to do, that does not require soft skills, right? We're talking about the standard, give me a list of 50 companies in Chicago that have a bottle washing division and who the sales manager is for their bottle washing division, any contact information available, and put it into a CSV for me. It will do that. That's where I think we are right now, and it's going to continue to get better. Some of the stuff Ben said was it made some mistakes. It actually sent an email out that he didn't ask it to send out, some stuff like that. So there are going to be issues, but he just got access to it. He only had it for a couple of days when he did it. So I'm assuming it's gotten better now. And then that's why I was trying to set up the ByteDance version because it was free, and I had to go through a bunch of rigmarole. And because I don't have the brain power to understand the programming side, I couldn't get it to work. But that is supposed to be better. It's free. ByteDance offers it for free, just like DeepSeek is free, and it's supposed to be better than the ChatGPT version that came out. And there's also, if you go to GitHub, there's 3 or 4 other ones that are open source that'll allow you to use your ChatGPT API or Claude API as well. But again, it's called the one that it's called. Here, I'll show you. I have the actual. I downloaded all the stuff, right? I just couldn't get it to work because I'm dumb. But let's see here. Share. So let me do this. Launchpad. Where is it? It's called UiTars. So look up UiTars, and this is what the browser looks. Oops. This is what the browser. This is like, okay. So here's the stuff that I couldn't figure out how to set up, right? So so this is the browser, right? This is how it works, and I like I said, I couldn't figure it out, right? So I have this VLM API key. I even tried to do it with Hugging Face. I have this other app that is part of Hugging Face, and this is as far as I gotten. It's called LM Studio, and this is a place where you can download all these different models, right? Any model you want and use it here. So I downloaded this one for TARS to do it, and had it run. I think I deleted the other one, but when you can do chat right here, like I can chat with this, right? You know, how to solve a Rubik's Cube is what I asked it, and you can do a new chat, and it'll tell you, let me move this, you know, press to send. And this particular one, and this is the one that I was supposed to download to use ByteDance's version. So watch this. The 6 + 6. Oh, so yeah. See, like I said, I don't understand text embedding. Load this model. See, like this is the kind of stuff I don't understand. I'm supposed to figure out how to load this model. I don't know how to do it.
Ask ChatGPT. That's what I do.
Yeah, but this is totally different. This is developer chats, new folder. Yeah, I select the model. Here we go. This one, load model, right? Okay, here we go. So teach me how to solve a Rubik's Cube. And now this is UiTARS 7B DPO. It's telling me how to do it. But I put in ASDF the other day, and it gave me a bunch of Chinese letters. And let's see, new chat. And whatever this particular UiTARS is what you have to put the API in here using Hugging Face right here. And I can't find on this page where I get the API to use this.
What's
So that's
the
where I
link
got
to
stuck.
that? What's the link to download that tool?
This particular one, you
Yeah.
go here, right? In this thing here, and you pick any model you want. Look at all the models they have.
No, I get that. I'm saying, like, where do you go to get UiTARS?
Oh, it's on UiTARS is on what's that, GitHub? It's here it is. It's github.com ByteDance/UI-TARS desktop, and I'll put this right here in the chat for everybody to see. This is the that's the link to get it, and then this is all the stuff. So when you come down and look at this here, it actually tells you use the Hugging Face models, right? Instructions of what it can do. Send a Twitter with the content hello world, right? That's inside the browser. This guy did this, and it'll show the video. He tells it to send a Twitter that says hello world. And look, the computer's doing this. It double clicks the stuff and starts. This is the computer actually working. If you guys can see the screen, the red, that's the computer doing it. It is it's the large language model doing this right now. The person is not controlling it. The large language model is controlling it. And it's creating the whole thing, hello world, in Chinese, because this is a Chinese app, and it's done. It did that entire thing in 28 seconds. So you download UiTARS. I have a Mac, and you drop it into applications, and then you have to give it screen recording permissions, and then this comes up. And then that's where I got stuck trying to add, and it says to use 72B DPO or 7B DPO. So I downloaded 7B TPO, and it tells you about how it works, the environment. Like, this is stuff I don't understand. My brain doesn't work for this stuff. So I kept trying, and it shows the workbench scores. Go ahead, Nick.
No, it's off topic. Keep going, Tom. Wait till you're done.
Yeah, it gives you the workbench scores and how it's better than the other ones and what it does and everything. It's kind of wild that they're doing this for free. And I guess, and see, this is where I got stuck. This VLML based URL, this I couldn't figure out. And then the API key goes here, which I couldn't figure out either. And then it says right down here, OpenAI API protocol document. And I clicked on this and couldn't get anywhere with it either. And then there's testing and stuff. I don't understand any of this. But obviously, if you do, you can get this working for free on your computer. You know, there's my box, right? That's my box. And if I put in test, nothing happens. Oh my God, what the fuck? Something just happened. That didn't work yesterday. So it took a picture or this screen and it says connection error. So I don't know why it did this. So I wonder if we come here and I do put here post hi to Facebook.
So Thommy, the use case for this.
Okay, so it's
thing you do-
thinking, and it gave me a connection error, and I'm assuming it gave me. And 1 second, Steve, it gave me a connection error because this isn't right. But I actually got it to actually look. It actually looked at the screen and was going to make a post, but for whatever reason, I don't have the right large language model set up. It didn't work. So if anybody who's watching or any of you guys know how to do this, we could get this working. If someone could explain it. Hold on 1 second for me, guys. This is important. My son's sick. Hello. Hello. Oh, your mom should be there. Go ahead. Steve, you said something to Nick. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted the specific use case that once you're into this and can do it. What is that use case?
The use case would be if I had this working and I would just like, hey, post hi to Facebook and it works, I would immediately go over to LinkedIn and ask it to search LinkedIn for profiles and put them in a
so it's
spreadsheet.
the sourcing.
That is the use
sourcing thing.
case.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. If this works, right, I can get this working. And now that it actually did this, I'm going to try and get it working. If this works, I will demo this next Friday, right? We can have a follow up to this because I got it working to show you how it would source for you on LinkedIn, on Sales Navigator, on your ATS, right? A directory, all the stuff I've read is, and now I'm seeing this. Once you're on that screen, and this is cool. You don't have to use it in their browser like you do with ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you have to use their browser. This actually, that's why I guess you had to give it screen recording permissions. It saw my screen and then was going to do the task that I asked it to do, but because the API is not set up, it didn't work. So I apologize for those of you watching or watch this later, as I didn't get this working up, but I will try to get this working by next Friday or for Tuesday's Ask a Headhunter as well. Nick and then Ernie.
Yeah, I got a favor to ask, but before I go there, I spoke to Brandon last week and he gave me the name of 2 more places that do that offer similar type products. One is called Bolt.new and the other is called Lovely.
For what?
L-V-E-A-I-E. What?
For what?
For the same type of thing. In other words, you enter in all your parameters, hit a button, and it creates the application.
Bolt, what's it? Bolt what?
Bolt.new.
What do you
Nick,
want to build?
use
This is
Replit.
more, okay. So Bolt is what Dom had shared with
Replit.
Replit. Yeah, Bolt is like Replit. So this is the difference. Bolt, Replit, what they'll do, what you ask it, right? Build me an applicant tracking system. Build me this. I don't think Bolt or Replit could search LinkedIn for these profiles. I could be wrong, but I don't think they can. I think this is more of, this creates stuff. It's like prompt, run, edit, and deploy to start a blog with Astro, build a mobile app with native script, draft a presentation with slide dev, create a doc site with VitePress, right? This would build a website for you. If Craig was on, Craig has used Claude highest level one because it's the best to build a website. He is almost done, and it did all the programming for him. Alexandra I'm saying her name, Louizos. I've made the automated computer use working, and it's for my sourcing. It works well with few limitations that need tweaking. Happy to connect and show you. Please email me and Alex. So Alex, are you using the ChatGPT or the Claude version of the controlling your screen?
I'm using the Claude version. Yeah.
The Claude? Oh, it's the Claude, the first one that came out. So have you got it to search LinkedIn or your database or anything?
Yeah, I can. I've been trying for the last week now to try to do it. There are a few limitations. Kind of like sometimes it doesn't know how to scroll the screen, so it's limited on, like, okay, if it sees like few results, then it doesn't know how to scroll, etc. So you need to be very specific on the instructions you give it. I'm playing with it and tweaking it, and I have it now for sourcing, but it's missing sometimes. Sometimes it's missing its way. So I'm trying to tweak it so it actually works as it should. But for this
So
application that you said, like, okay, find me these profiles and make a spreadsheet, I managed to make it without breaking up to 50 profiles. And sometimes then in long term, it loses its way. So I'm now trying to fix it at that point.
So just to be clear, you got it to extract 50 LinkedIn profiles based upon the parameters you gave it for sourcing.
Yeah. And I can show you like how I did it, like maybe.
There you go, guys. I mean, that's it right there. He got it to work with 50 profiles. So we are just weeks, if not months away for it to be able to scroll and download all the profiles.
Yeah, the good thing is that you are not going to be shadow banned from LinkedIn because it mimics the way a user would do it. It's not like bot related.
It's not like real quick.
Yeah, it's not super quick because it captures the screen and then makes like works its way around it. So it's not kind of like, it's not a bot. It mimics a user interface, and I'm doing it in my own browser, so there's no like kind of proxy headless browsers as they call it, which they get banned. So I don't think there is any reason to be afraid that it's gonna like be banned. My account is gonna be banned from LinkedIn.
Well,
Alexandros, are you using like Microsoft Program Automate?
Say that again. I didn't get it. Sorry.
Are you using Program Automate?
No, I'm using like no, I'm not using this program. What I'm using is like a code. Like I'm like a bit of a coder background, so I'm using like a code. It's called like Web UI. Browser use Web UI if you want to search it on GitHub.
Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah. Let me share it.
I'll send you one too after this.
And it's super funny because I was just trying this week to do it, and I hear you guys talk about it. It's like moving super fast. Like you wouldn't be able to do that 6 months ago.
Yeah, that's what we keep seeing is it keeps getting better, and that's what Ben Menace said. He said he set it up, and then he went and played with his kids, right? So think about like how long it would take you to do that. It probably would take that as much.
Yeah. And it's not perfect at this point. I'm trying to make it like very reliable, and like I'm sure if I try like for the next week I will do it. But I mean, wait for another year because 6 months ago you couldn't do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's amazing. So is this it right here? I'm gonna share the screen real quick. Is this the Web UI?
I'm sorry, I'm outside right now. Otherwise, I could just connect and share the screen. But maybe we can do that next week if you want.
Yeah. Is this the Web UI you're talking about?
Let me, because I'm on my mobile. Let me make a full screen. Web UI. Yes, this is one. Yeah, that's the
okay.
one.
So this is similar to the one I was trying to mess with.
Yeah.
Right. And this is what the guys at the Typing Mind Discord were telling me, that there's several of these. What's the word they used? Browser use or whatever, open source ones that you can use your Claude API, your ChatGPT API, your DeepSeek API to do it. Again, I don't have the brain power to make this work, but yeah. So this is what he's using right here. We'll hit play. It'll probably show run the agent, and then
yeah. The good thing is
there it goes. Look what it's doing.
Yeah. The good thing is that you can use your own browser on your local machine, so you don't have to authenticate and log in. So you're already logged in LinkedIn, for example.
That's what the problem with ChatGPT is. You have to log in to your LinkedIn account, your Lohse account on their browser to get ChatGPT to work. And these ones don't work on their your own browser.
Yes, this Web UI works on your own browser, so that's why it shows it.
So does everybody understand kind of where we are with this? Like what I'm talking about, what Alex is talking about? Do you guys understand? Do you have any questions, concerns, opinions? What do you guys think? Ernie?
I just wanted to bring up one thing too, because sometimes as we're talking, there's different levels of people understanding what actually is going on. And if you're a new recruiter, or if you're somebody that's just trying to figure out, how to use the best ATS, you may look at this and go, what the hell's going on? And I just wanted to say, if you get into ChatGPT before you go jumping into paying $200 for the Pro, go into ChatGPT and ask it, what advantages would I have going into Pro? ChatGPT Pro, and then try to do an analysis and figure out whether or not it's worth it for you to make that kind of investment, especially if you're just starting out or you don't have the funds to do it. But these guys, I think, here in this group are sharing with us ideas that where it's going.
That is exactly what we're talking about, Ernie.
And
the future.
And then what I wanted to just mention with regards to that is a lot of I'm still finding a lot of people that are on the front, like in manufacturing, aren't even using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So before you start thinking, well, we're going to go out of business and next week and every HR person's going to start doing this, it's not going to happen. You're going to be competing with other recruiters, yes, but at the same time, I'm not finding manufacturing to being at the forefront of ChatGPT or even learning how to use it to respond to an email. And some of them
small companies, I have small companies that don't even know what it does.
Yes, and,
so
and
I agree. You're absolutely right, Ernie.
The whole thing. It's like, so part of this is just as you're talking about all this stuff, you can use that as an intro to create a link or a relationship with somebody, just telling them the basics of ChatGPT and just introducing that whole concept. And all of a sudden you become their best friend. Because I've had people tell me, I've been using it for 3 or 4 years or whatever long you've had it. But I showed it to them and they said, hey, you're still using ChatGPT? And they'll go, yeah, bro, I remember you taught me it. So they remember who taught them ChatGPT, because other recruiters are not teaching them even what the whole thing is, and a quick course in that or a quick introduction. And you could create a friend for life if you're talking about going back to the basics of just creating a relationship with an internal person that you want to make contact with within the company.
Exactly.
Some big companies that I have publicly traded, they cannot go on here and use ChatGPT because they don't want their data in here. They'd have to go on their own personal computer, personal email, and they can use it. But I'm telling them, learn how to use it quick to make your life easier. But they cannot go on their company computer. That's why they're all creating their own LLMs internally.
Exactly. Yeah. Nick,
yeah.
You had a question?
Yeah. I wanted to ask this kind of a side question again. Tom, we had talked about this before. I have a client asking about ownership of candidates. In other words, if you send us somebody and somebody else has sent them, and I want to get some wording to send back to her, I'm going to actually update my fee schedule, which basically to say is if they're in play, yeah. If they're not, no. Does anybody have any good wording for that?
Y'all know what he's talking about?
How long ago did they send them?
What do you mean?
No, this is for a new search. He wants to be able to cover his ass if they have a guy in this database, but he's not engaged, or a candidate in the database that's not engaged, and Nick happens to stumble upon the guy, right? So I sent my resume 8 months ago to the company. They never called me back, but my resume is sitting in their database. Yeah. Nick calls me and says, Tom, I'm a recruiter. I'm wonderful and great. You want to come interview? And I say, yes. And then they go, oh, we already have his resume.
Yeah.
What is the wording you would put in your fee agreement to circumvent that? And we call it the but-for rule.
Hold on, Nick. Let me look at mine real quick. 1 second.
Does anybody have a boilerplate but-for rule clause in their
I had
fee agreement?
I have no idea where it went. The ownership for a year thing also. That if you send them somebody, it's good for a year. Since he asked, I figured I'd put it in the job in the.
So that's an interesting question. I feel like sometimes as recruiters, we want both sides of that, right? So we want to tell the candidate or client, hey, if I come across a guy that you happen to have in your system, and you're not engaged with them, you owe me a fee, whether you have them or not. And then you want to tell the client that if I send a resume over the next year, and but we never engage that guy, and then some other recruiter finds him, I still get paid a fee, right? So I think sometimes we don't think about how
I don't think that's unfair.
we're a little hypocritical. If they have it and we find the guy, we want to be paid. But if we submitted the candidate, but that candidate doesn't get hired, and then 7 months ago another recruiter finds that candidate and gets him engaged, we want to be paid, right? So how do you overcome that objection? So I have a guy in my system, Nick, that I'm not engaged with, and you bring him to me, you want a fee, fine. But then you send me a guy we decide not to engage with, but then 7 months later, some other recruiter calls me with that same candidate. I want to engage that candidate, but now I got to pay both of you.
Right.
Does anybody have
we brought this candidate to your attention. Yes, they were in your database, but you didn't know that they were currently looking.
I get that. That's one.
And then on the back end, what was the second part?
The back end is you send in a candidate, right? You send in me,
right?
And for whatever reason, they decide to not interview me. I'm not qualified enough. I'm too overqualified, whatever it is. Then you end up filling the position with Ernie. 7 months later, some other recruiter calls me and says, hey, I got this great opportunity. It's that same company, and it's a lower level or higher level, whatever it is. This recruiter submits to that, calls that client up and says, hey, I got this guy I think is a good fit. Now you want to be paid because you sent that guy in 7 months ago, but he wasn't engaged, and this other recruiter got him engaged. So how do you bridge that gap by saying, isn't that identical to telling your client you're going to get paid because the candidate's not engaged, and your client saying to you, well, the reason I'm not paying you, Dom, is you sent him 7 months ago, but we haven't been engaged with him, and this other recruiter bought him and got us engaged.
Yeah. I mean, I always have those conversations up front. But yeah, I have something in writing, Nick, if you want to send me your email.
Yeah, sure. I'll put it in the. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Tom. I get it too, and I've had these conversations many times. I'm like, we brought them to you, so we had 12-month rights on them. But yeah, you had them in your system, but you didn't have them active. You didn't know they were looking. We were out there searching for you. We brought them back to your attention because they might have applied. You never even talked to them.
Well, they weren't on your radar.
They weren't on your radar yet.
So what is the rebuttal when other candidate says, yeah, but Domenic may have sent him to you 7 months ago, but Domenic wasn't working with him. Domenic didn't have him on your radar, and because I called him and asked him if he's interested, now he's ready to engage back with you guys because he's qualified enough or fits the different job. Why should Domenic get paid and not me?
So that's where it depends on that recruiter's agreement. If they have a good agreement written like mine, then they're going to get credit for it.
Yeah, but the point is, if you send somebody and 8 months later they have the right job for them as a recruiter, you should know that. You should be contacting and saying, "Hey, remember I sent you Tommy?"
There you go. There's a rebuttal.
Right.
And if you don't, and some other recruiter backstory you, dude, you're fucked. That's your fault.
It's all about partnership and communication.
Yeah. Because I've had it both ways. I've been screwed on that, and I've benefited from that. So
have I.
It's interesting. It's interesting, and I think it really comes to the relationship you have with the client. Yeah, go ahead, Kelly.
So a couple days ago, I don't know if I sent Tom and Ernie this information. Somebody had reached out to me with some kind of service or software that finds out if a client hires a candidate of yours.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Was that backdoor or something? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do they do? Just they would probably ask you, send me every resume you've sent to a client in the last 12 months, and then they run them through some type of algorithm that sees where all the people are working and then tries to match it up with those things, right? So that we
virtual
laugh.
husky.
Yeah, we
Make
used
sure
to
you have
laugh,
good
I don't
writing in
know,
that agreement, though, Kelly, because
back
now
in the day,
Right.
they
Dom,
You can send that to me too.
I tell our new recruiters, go to our send out board, because we used to have a send out board at my old company, and you would write your initials and then the name of the candidate, where he was interviewing, and the date he was interviewing, whether it was a face-to-face interview or a telephone interview. And it was that was our first time send out board, right? So we always talk about metrics and what we do. And first time send out is anytime you send a candidate, whether it's an MPC, whether it's a working on a search or a POJO, whatever it is, the first time that candidate interviews with that client, that is a first time send out. and ratios are 10-1 for a new recruiter. You get 10 first-time send-outs, you'll make a placement, right? I think now at this level I'm at, my send-out to placement ratio is probably 2-1, maybe 3-1. So that board oftentimes would have, in any given month with a dozen recruiters, 20 times 240 send-outs a month, right, for the office. So we'd have new people start, and we just say, hey, go to the send-out board, go 3 months back, call all these companies and ask for the person, right? So call Walmart, ask for Bill McCabe. Call Target, ask for Tim Lohse. Call, and if that person answered, they'd write it down. And then for whatever reason, if we didn't get a fee for that, now you found a placement because you had the first time send out. And it actually got us, every year we'd find a couple placements. So for those of you watching, if you track all your first time send outs, go back and just do that, right? Candidates you haven't connected with 6 months ago, just go back and call the company you sent them out to and go, hey, is John Smith there? And if you might find, I'll answer the phone and you're like, when did you start working there, bro? Oh, I know it kind of didn't work out, but then they called me back 3 months later and I just started. And boom, you have a fee. So that's the, whatever the software is, that's the old school version of what that software is, right? Is having one of our new recruiters just call our send out board and ask for the people.
You know what I know? One thing I wanted to mention before about the AI stuff is, somebody posts a picture out, let's say on Facebook, of an AI generated picture that they made, and everybody, laughed. Oh, it's only AI. It's only AI. My thoughts are that there was a person that created that and put it together and gave it the instructions to do so. And that may very well end up how AI is. I mean, I've been through the whole thing, the New York Times, then Monster, then Career Builders, and then LinkedIn. And every one of them was supposed to bury us, and so far none have. And I think if the tools are there, but if you use them better than somebody else, that's going to be your edge.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for all the things, guys. I really appreciate that.
Like, here's the ideal situation, Nick. When a client reaches out to you and says, hey, got a surprise for you. We're hiring one of your candidates you sent 8 months ago.
Yeah.
That's a good guy.
Right. That's the kind of relationships you got built.
They hired the person one day before a year.
Back to the relationships. I've had 2 situations. One where I did a private equity placement, and I knew the owner of the private equity, and he just picked up the phone and said, "You placed this guy, you paid him." He goes, "But Ernie originally sent him in, so pay Ernie $40,000." And that was just boom. There was no questions asked, double or whether. He just ordered it. That's number one. Number two was I had somebody that at one time I had submitted a candidate, and they told me we have another person that submitted them. My relationship was another agency that submitted this guy 6 months ago. So I said, okay, without saying who it, tell me who the other guy is, the other recruiter. So I called the other recruiter and I said, here's the situation. I got a candidate that I just presented that you had submitted with a company, everything confidential. If you want, I can go forward with it. We can call it a split. You send me a letter that we both agreed, and we'll do a split on him, and it'll be a win-win for both of us. And the guy said, sure. Here, I'll send you the note. And he told me I'm working with Ernie on this one. Forward, we're going to split it. We'll work it out. The company said, fine. They did it. We did the split, and it was cool. You made half. But sometimes you got to think outside the box.
Yeah.
But just don't give up because another recruiter has presented your candidate 6 months before, because the other recruiter doesn't even know what the hell's going on. But if you have a good enough relationship with that hiring company and they give you the information, then you pick up the phone and call that other recruiter and work out a deal. And then get a confirming letter and you're fine. All the company doesn't want to do is pay double, or they don't want legal problems. They just want to get this quickly said and done.
No doubt.
Anything else on today's topic before we go to our secret double probation hideaway?
Yeah,
No?
here's something to think about since we're talking about the future, right?
Okay.
So think about this. You know how you have that thing go and monitor your screen and do all these tasks, right? And we're talking about soft skills, and why am I a little bit worried? I'm not, but a lot of people should be, because what's going to happen. A lot of this is already out there. So this bot can go out in there and post a job, collect the data, and say, all right, I'm getting best results from LinkedIn. All right, deploy the capital to get that job promoted. Have all those candidates come in, and it will screen them via video, look like me, talk like me, and in the background, it's collecting 172 data points while searching that. So everybody that applies, you know how somebody posts a job, 1,000 candidates apply. Well, everybody will get an interview, and then it will go through that and filter that and give you the top candidates. And that's just a piece of it. It's just getting better and better. But that's already out there.
It looks like you and sounds like you, but it's not you.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just
did
a
you guys see
picture
the pickle?
of you, and it talks
Pickle
like
thing
you.
that I shared. Did you guys
So
see
one of my
that?
big clients had a candidate get scammed because they thought the CEO was telling them welcome aboard. Yeah, it's pretty scary. And these here's another thing to tell your candidates. These companies are getting so good with the scams that they're creating previous companies with reference checks and locations. So, you know, people are putting their information in there because they're desperate in this type of job market. They go and put all their, you know, personal information, and now they just gave everybody their data, their information, their social, everything. It's bad.
It's going to get worse too.
Worse.
Like, so
way worse.
the pickle thing I was talking about, and this is the website, is Pickle AI. It is is how you can. It's $24 a month, and you can you make a persona of yourself, and I can get up right now and I will be talking on my headset in the kitchen, making myself a sandwich, but it'll look like I'm sitting here talking to you guys, and you'll never know that I left my seat and I'm in the kitchen, I'm playing video games, I'm using the restroom, whatever, it doesn't matter. It will just, whatever you're saying, it'll do the head bob, it'll do all this stuff, and I'll be sitting here and you won't know that it's not me.
Are you doing this
It's
right
really
now?
wild.
Are you doing this right now?
There you go, Brent. It's in the chat. 11labs.io.
What did you say, Brent?
Does that work for wife and kids?
Maybe one day. But like the idea is for those of us that like go to meet, like Donna Terrell was on when we were talking about this, and my daughter as well, who just sit there, right? And they may say that's correct, or I'll take that note, right? That most of the time they're just kind of sitting there nodding their head. So they have to be there the entire time for the, say, 2-hour meeting, where now they can walk around their house or walk around the office, and it still looks like they're there, and no one knows the wiser. If you go, the pickle video is okay, but the one that the most updated one that they shared on Reddit a week ago was absolutely unbelievable. It was one of the founders of the company, and it was just like, it blew me away, because he whatever he was doing, it was mimicking that on the screen, but he was elsewhere in the house. And I'll see if I can find it, but
that is awesome.
It was really cool.
That'd be good for corporate America when you are just stuck in meetings all day that are nothing. My wife used to work for a major healthcare provider, and she'd be in meetings just like, oh, it's 7 hours a day of meetings. And it was just ridiculous. She would have loved that.
Yeah, so what I'll do is, guys,
What do you think
we'll
the
keep going.
capability of this stuff is for candidates to use for interview? Like on the flip side?
They would not know. The candidate was not sitting there interviewing. There was no way they would know. And I'm looking for the video on Reddit right now, but there was literally no way for them to know that you were not sitting there interviewing, that you were in your underwear playing video games, answering all their questions. The pickle one it only works for Mac right now, but it works on all the video, Zoom, Google Meet and Teams. So it
That
works
would've-
on all of them.
That would have helped me with a candidate who interviewed while he was on the pickup line for fast foods. He was in his car ordering food. It would have.
Yeah.
Didn't get the. He was eating actually the burger. He says, "I was hungry."
And that's what we're going to end up seeing is, there's going to be no way for you to figure that out. Number one, and then number two, as Domenic said, now you just saw it. I could create a web page for an old company, right? Recruit.com or Headhunters International. Say that I worked there for 6 years. Create fake references. Use voice changers to do reference checks if somebody calls, right? And then get hired on a remote position as a recruiter on a salary with zero friggin' experience, but I have all the references, an old company I used to work for, and all this stuff. And how are we going to figure that out? Like that's going to be like
Mason's figuring it out right now. From
Stanford. You're going to have them go to a library and hold a newspaper in front of them with their driver's license and a background check to say that they're actually the right person. I mean, it's getting scary.
I'm actually not here right now. I want you to know that.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, Ernie, at the rectory, when do you guys order the Eucharist? Do you do it like on Saturday for Sunday, or do you early in the week?
You're not a good Christian, I can tell right off your bat.
They order that stuff in bulk.
Like, I think somebody's got to be in charge of ordering the Eucharist.
They order that stuff in bulk. We have giant back area with boxes and boxes and boxes of the Eucharist.
Given the way America is going now, this is probably a big plus,
Man, I wish I could find. I cannot find that.
Should we go after hours
of that guy? I don't know which subreddit it was in or whatever it was, but if you go to Pickle, the video that's on there is not bad, but the newest one that they did was.
Hey Tom, was it that video that was done by Mike Wolford?
No, it was so Animal.
He had one that was like an interview between who was it? I think it was Albert. No, the founder.
No. This is strictly just you. All it does is mimic you. So what you do, and I don't know the entire setup, but from reading the white paper, you set up a persona, right? You're out 3, I think, with the basic thing, right? So me in this outfit, me in my green shirt, me in a sweatshirt, right? And then I go to sit down for an interview, and I don't know if you have to sit down first and then get up. Does it see you get up or how it works? But basically, his girlfriend was sitting here talking like I'm talking right now at a computer at a meeting, but she was in the living room playing video games, holding an Xbox controller in her hand in her pajamas. And it was her face, her facial expressions, everything. You could not tell it was not her. There was no glitching. There was no anything that wouldn't make you think it wasn't her. That's how good it was. And that's why I was trying to find it. And I can't. I'm sorry. I wish I had it, guys. I'm sorry.
I want my on-screen persona to be Max Headroom.
Max Headroom.
What is Sora?
It's a video. You could create like commercials and stuff. My father-in-law uses it for his company. They do like defense DoD work, and he created like a video of this tank coming out. It was crazy. It was so cool. It looked so real.
Oh wow. See, again, I think somebody that takes the time and has the wherewithal to create stuff like this is no less of an artist than somebody that paints with a paintbrush. And I think the same is going to be for recruiters. Hopefully. I'll be gone by then. It doesn't matter to me, but
the stuff that people are doing, as you said, yes, because they're artists in a way, because they're so good at what they do, creating these prompts, creating these
no
different
matter tools. They created it no matter what tools they use. That's my point,
I found it.
He put the link in the chat.
Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one, I think. Yep, here it is, right here. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'll show you the thing. It's Pickle AI for those that aren't. Oh, God dang it! Stop! Sorry. Yelling at my screen. So, and after I show this, guys, that's it. Get Pickle. That's it. No, that's not it. Hold on.
Pickle
Wait a
AI.
second. It's
Getpickle.ai.
No, it's
I'm looking at the site. It's
it's
getpickle.
pickleai.com. It's not Get Pickle. It's this right here. Here.
Because
Put it in the
Getpickle
chat.
is your AI body double for calls.
Really?
Yeah, I tried the other one and it goes to a GoDaddy page.
This one right here?
Yeah, I'm putting it in here right now.
I just dropped it in. Pickleai.com lander. Yeah, same one. I guess. Is that the same one? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the same one. Yeah, same as mine. Here's the video that he shared on where is it? Gosh dang it. So many damn tabs and windows open. I gotta find it. And so it's here. So let's go here. Pickle. Yeah, this is the one right here. So, watch. That's it. He's not at the screen, but that his persona is there. He's and look at how his face moves.
Yeah.
Can you tell that's not a human being?
No. That's crazy.
And I'll post the here's the video so you guys can hear the audio and everything. This is the
I wonder why it's Mac only.
It's I went to the frequently asked questions, and they are going to be getting a Microsoft or a whatever version.
Yeah.
There's the that package media Reddit one. That's the actual link to the video. But guys, so we stop sharing. Thanks everybody for coming to the roundtable today. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. It helps us, if we ever get to the point where we can actually make money, that would be really nice. Thanks for being part of Recruiter Roundtable. We really appreciate it. Check us out on YouTube at the Recruiter Roundtable. Check us out on LinkedIn at the Recruiter Roundtable and www.therecruiterroundtable.com. For topic suggestions, questions, we'd love to hear from you. It's the Recruiter Roundtable at Gmail. Thanks again for being part of Recruiter Roundtable. For Ernie, Moreno, and Kelly Nelson, I'm Tom Alascio. We'll see you next week on the Recruiter Roundtable. And until then, don't forget to smile and dial.
Adios.
And we're off. And I'll turn off recording too, guys. So give me a second there. Recording.